Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are live once again. This is Empire State of Baseball, episode number 164, airing on May 18th of the year 2026. We are live on X, YouTube, presented by Diamond Sports Media, and powered by StreamYard. Well, depending on who you talk to, the World Series happened this weekend, and one of our teams are happy, one of our teams are unhappy. But we had a big Subway Series matchup. Obviously, it was an eventful weekend. Mets took the series 2-1. We'll get more into the Subway Series in a moment. It also kind of felt like summer for the first time this weekend too. Weather was warm up, out here in New York
It
and the New
feels
Jersey area.
disgusting. It's
Yeah,
disgusting out. It is so
it
hot.
was hot, man. Let me tell you, I was walking out this morning trying to do a 30-minute walk before a 30-minute walk before work, and I was like covered in sweat. I'm like, wow, this is weird.
Yeah, the drastic temperature change, and then you just walk outside at like lunch, and it's just so hot, and you just like it adds to the tiredness of a Monday of all days. Like if this happened on a Wednesday, it'd be like, all right, whatever. On a Monday where you're already like tired, won't want to be at work, it's like, oh man, it too hot. We went from 0 to 100 a little too quickly.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is too, and I don't know why, but I hear jokes you go to the Poconos all the time, typically from Memorial Day weekend. I don't know what's up with like the last 5, 6, 7 years. It feels like Memorial Day weekend's cold and wet. Every year it seems to be cold and wet, and this is going to be the same.
Yep.
It's going to be the same story. You're going from perfect beach weather during the work week. This weekend would have been a nice one. And now what happens? Now you get to the actual unofficial start of summer, and we're looking at mid-50s and rain on Friday. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Memorial Day is never. I'm telling you, I've been going up to Pennsylvania for Memorial Day weekend every year for like the last 10 years, and I'd probably say 8 out of the 10 years the weather has been terrible. It's been rainy. It's been cold. It's just been off. But man, I just like, you can't win. Now I have golfed, I get my resolve in on Memorial Day weekend. I'm saying I am golfing no matter what. I have golfed in monsoons on Memorial Day. Yep. I have the course to myself because nobody wants to golf in a monsoon except for this guy right here. I will golf
with you.
I will golf in pouring rain. Why? Because everybody hates it, and 2, I actually play better in the rain than I play at normal times. Because you're not trying to overswing, you're not trying to kill the ball because you're just trying to keep your 2 feet on the ground. But man, it's always Memorial Day. Always disappoints.
Always is. Hopefully, July 4th is actual summer weather, but we've got a little ways to go for that. Taking a quick look at the chat, we got Jacob Petruzzi, smack the like and sub button for the fellas. Is also congratulating me and you, Joe, and Tom, because don't forget, Tom is a Met fan this year on the 2026 World Series. Taking a quick look, we got L.I. Is that Tom's eyeballs? We got Chris. What up, fellas? We also got Big Slick in the building. Tom, don't look goofy tonight. Oh man! So we got Big Slick in the house. Tom, what
Slick.
What do you got to say?
I have my regular. Slick. I got my regular glasses on tonight. None of your goddamn business. I'm surprised you're not too busy just reposting Livy Dunn and Hillary Duff in Twitter posts like an absolute weirdo freak. What an absolute loser you are! Like the kind of dude that like finds those like celebs hot with like 2 Z's posts and like repost that stuff. What an absolute loser has not seen a naked woman at a decade.
Oh my. Well, I mean, that's something. I will say that was an interesting Sports Illustrated, Hillary Duff coming up. But blast from the past brings you back to my youth. And she's definitely still looking youthful. That's for sure. But anyway, we still got a nice show tonight coming up. Again, but before we jump into the Rowback rundown, Tom, why don't you give us all the news about Rowbacks?
Sure, would be happy to. We're in some Rowback right now. Don't think this is part of that Augusta Azalea collection. Don't think this is available anymore. But what is available over at Rowback, is this summer 2026, the summer 2026 drop. Lots of USA stuff. So if you're looking for some brand new red, white, and blue, again, we're not just talking polos, we're talking some lightweight hoodies, the t-shirts, shorts, bathing suits, all kinds of stuff ready for the summer. Head over to rhoback.com. That is RHOBACK.com. Use promo code TWASPL15. Get yourself 15% off your first order. Slick, sorry, I also partially run the ESB account, so your dumbass tweets show up. I wish I had your taste. Dude, you're a loser. You're an absolute loser. Like that's something like 15-year-olds do. Like, I'm gonna repost these pictures. Like, get a life. Truly.
Or single biggest.
No, like normal, respectful single person's like, I'm gonna repost this. I'm like, it's just the biggest loser type of move you could do is dumb shit like that. Like, just embarrassing. Frankly, embarrassing. More embarrassing than your other takes.
That's all we got to talk about Rhoback.
Let's get to baseball. Let's get to baseball.
Anyway, back to the Rhoback rundown tonight. Again, we got a lot of baseball to talk tonight, especially coming off the Subway Series. We're going to talk New York Mets with the Queens Gambit. The game segment for tonight will be the defining moment, where we'll try to guess, a little bit of fill in the blank on some moments in games past. And the Bronx is burning. We'll be talking about the latest on the New York Yankees. Yankees in a bit of a colder stretch after their really, really hot second half of April. Cooled off a little bit the last couple of weeks, so we'll talk a little Yankee baseball as well. But anyway, let's go ahead and chat New York Mets baseball. Coming off the big series win versus the Yankees, 2-1. Obviously, we had the heroics in yesterday's game coming back. For Met fans out there, you know it very well. This was the Mets' first time coming back when trailing after 8 innings or later since 2024. Of all moments, the last time they did it was Pete Alonso versus Devin Williams in the 9th inning back in the the wild card game round a couple years ago in 2024. They had none last year in 2025, and that's a big reason why the Mets ended up missing the playoffs by a game. They just could not find that 2024 magic, but they did last night, or yesterday afternoon, I should say. And it's a pretty good month of May for the Mets. I know they had the one series they lost versus the Diamondbacks. They lost that series 2-1. Had a chance to win the Saturday game that series, but the offense didn't show up. But other than that, they've won a lot of series this month and have slowly kind of trickled back up. Obviously, we're not talking division. We're way, way, way too far to be talking about playoff standings at this juncture. But you look at the Mets, they've battled back now 6 under 500. They've won 6 of their last 10. And they're starting to do the win a series. All right, sure, you lose a series, win a series. And they swept the Tigers. So they went from 11 games under just a couple of weeks ago, now find themselves 6 games back, trying to get to that magic number I set for them about 3 weeks ago. I said, all right, get within 500 by Memorial Day. Well, we're a game away from that with the week to go. Joe, how are you feeling right now with the New York Metropolitans?
Yeah, I mean, there's kind of a renewed optimism in the team. It's privy by the fact that the injuries keep stacking up. But the Mets have seemed to kind of right the ship. I believe they're 10-5 in the month of May so far, which certainly will get the job done. If you count the first part of the year, they were 7-4 to start the year before they went on that 11-game losing streak and went on that skid. So we're really kind of looking for which Mets team is the real team. Are they the team that went on an 11-game losing streak, or are they the team that started the year 7-4 and now have gone 10-5 in May, and look to be at least a competent baseball team for the time being? The biggest thing is, obviously they lose Holmes. They get the walk-off. That's such a huge, for a number of reasons, a huge win to get yesterday. A, you take 2 out of 3 against the Yankees. B, you get your first comeback from the 8th inning or later since 2024 playoffs. That's huge. So you've kind of gotten this, big weight off your shoulders doing that. And now, Corey, you said it, the barometer is usually Memorial Day. The Mets actually have a chance with 4 against the Nationals and 3 against Miami to get to Memorial Day at 500 or even a game above if they go on a little run here. If you can do that, all of a sudden the season can look like it's turning around, with Lindor probably going to be back in June. The other 2 guys probably closer to the All-Star game. And now you're going to look at this team and say, okay, what do we need now to elevate this team? Is the injury is the solution just to get healthy and see what this team looks like completely healthy? Is it to add at the deadline? Is it to adjust the guys that are here? I still think there's dead weight on this team. I think Sean Manaea at this point either has to get his surgery for the loose bodies in his elbow, a la what Rodon did this past offseason, or he's got to be released. He is not serving a purpose on this team that is productive and positive. They've called upon the young rookies. Ewan and Benj look really good. They've added a spark to this team. They've added a dynamic not only in the outfield but on the bases. Yes, I know Benj dropped the ball. Tom's going to mention that. But at the end of the day, they have been ultra productive for the Mets in this month of May, and that's something that they sorely needed, an energy to bring them back. And so now the offense still isn't great. We're still working on it, but I can envision an offense being productive offense with Lindor back, with Polanco, a healthy Polanco and a healthy Robert, which we're not sure when we're getting. But there is a pathway for this team to be competitive this year. They have to keep up the momentum from yesterday.
Exactly. I mean, that's the thing. You have to keep up the momentum. I know, like Tom said also a couple of weeks ago, it's like the Mets can't afford one of those bad streaks anymore. You get one of those 6-7 game losing streaks again, it's going to be hard to double down. You're going to lose series. That's going to happen. You're not going to go the rest of the year winning every series. You're going to lose some series. But the thing is, stop the bleeding when the cut starts to open up, and win series. Just win more series than you lose. You'll be fine. And hopefully they can continue to build on this momentum. Tom, I want to ask you too, looking at it from the other side, going against your team this weekend at Citi Field, just want to see your thoughts on the New York Metropolitans and the little run they've been on the last couple of weeks.
It definitely been better as of late. We were talking about that recently, that it is still early. I know we were a little, you guys are especially a little bit in panic mode, but there was still a lot of time. It's a weird series for me to judge. I mean, the Yankees bullpen, as I said last week, I think we clipped it and sent it out, is so bad. And now, granted, like the guy that gave it up has been the guy who you count on the most in Bednar yesterday, but that's a series that the Yankees outplayed the Mets in. They didn't. I mean, it doesn't matter. You don't get wins for games you should have won. You get wins for games you did win, and the Mets, came back and won the game. But the Yankees should have won 2 or 3 in that series. But you can't even blame Boone. He managed that game right, and then Bednar gave it up. It's just it's going to happen, but it's probably has happened too often. I think, certainly they have the point I brought up all off season going to this year is the Mets they blew so much of it up that teams take a long time to gel. Now, maybe this team gels, starting to gel now. Now, are they in too much of a hole to make a serious run? I mean, technically not. Right? Again, we're not even at Memorial Day yet, but it does put them in a hole. I think some of the young guys, did Ben drop the ball? Sure. I mean, I think he's supposed to be regarded as a very good fielder. Good fielder drop the ball sometimes. The ball kick, it was must have been a lot of wind, because I felt like he looked like he was to catch that, and then he ran a kind of a long way before he missed it. So that's whatever. Ewing, and early on, seems like he could be a good scrappy little player. So they had that mix of they got some veterans, they got some young guys. I mean, the pitching, I worry, I guess, that especially now with Holmes out, like that's going to be a big hill to climb.
Holmes is a big injury.
Yeah, I mean, ironically, right, going into that series, the Mets pitching has been pretty decent. I guess they've held up. The offense has been really bad. And moving forward, I feel like it's flipped. I feel like the pitching now is really going to be under a microscope and is going to be more of the pain point going forward. And the offense, just as they gel more and they get used to each other, I think they're going to do better. So that's kind of where I'm at with the Mets.
Yeah, and we'll see too. I mean, speaking of offense, I know the offense was so bad.
Don't say
for
it.
so
I'm
long.
still on 0-0, Corey.
You're still 0-0 on the game right now?
No, on the count. But Soto with the 2-run base hit, 2 RBI base hit. The Mets take the lead 4-3.
There you go. That's exactly where I was going. Just want to say, listen, Mets offense starting to come back here. Looking a little better. And like you said, Tom, the pitching's the question. The loss to Holmes was big. And, especially because the Mets had some positive vibes coming into the Subway Series, sweeping the Tigers, going into it. And then when Holmes got hurt and left that game, it just felt so deflating. And I went to bed that night. That was probably the worst I felt about the Mets in a little while. It wasn't the game. You're going to lose games. The Mets might have lost the series. So what? But to lose your most consistent pitcher, a lot of times Holmes goes out there and he's the one you can count on the most, even more than like a Nolan McLean, who's got obviously the better stuff and the higher upside. But Holmes is the guy that goes out there and just seems to give you quality start after quality start. I think the days of him struggling to get through 5 are over now that he's fully stretched out, has a full season pitching in the rotation under his belt.
How long is he out for? Do we know that yet?
They said there's a good chance he will be back, but we're talking end of August.
Yeah, I mean,
it's going to be a long time.
August.
So
yeah,
it's not.
It's. They said I think the recovery on it is at least 8 weeks, and then you have to. You're not going to obviously with your leg, you can't throw while you're laid up. So he can't throw for 8 weeks. And if you remember the interview we had with Jack Lambert. Usually the formula is if you don't throw for 8 weeks, your ramp up period has to be basically 2 weeks per every week you don't throw. And that gets you really late in the season. So obviously in season it's going to be accelerated, but that's you're talking. It's gonna get us late. So
they'd have to see, I guess, where they are, right? If they're looking like they've turned it around, hey, he becomes a massive push into a postseason berth. But if they're struggling at the time, you probably just say, hey, I mean, you probably bring him back just so he can kind of get his feet wet again, but you're not going to push him.
Listen, the Mets have done the right things in the past couple of weeks, right? Like they've called up Christian Scott and said, we're not messing around with that 5th spot in the rotation anymore. If these guys can't cut it, we're going to bring in somebody who can. So they called up Christian Scott. He's been fair. He's been decent. And at the minimum, keeping you in ball games, something that Senga wasn't doing and Peterson wasn't doing. They put now Peterson in a position where he's not going to start the games. He's had a problem in the first inning. So now he's coming in as a bulk reliever with an opener in front of him. And he's been better. Right. So now it's like, okay, we've stabilized the back half. Losing Holmes, the question is, who's going to take that spot? They just called up Thornton, their number 13 ranked prospect. Senga apparently is starting to throw again. So the question is, when Senga is ready, is Senga going to get the spot back in the rotation? And again, Minaya has just been totally ineffective. So the Mets have a problem at the back end of the rotation. They've been managing up until now. Personally, I like to see Tobias Myers get a chance at the start and roll. I think he's been one of your better relievers. I think he's been a really good addition to this team. He came over in the Freddie Peralta deal. But they're going to need another person because if Senga needs a real short leash, he's going to get 2 to 3 starts max. And if he can't figure out in the 2 to 3 starts, he might be done.
Joe, you tell me this guy Thornton just got called up?
Yes.
Cool. Got him to stash in a very deep fantasy league. So
there you go.
Lefty for me.
Sinker, lefty sinker kind of pitcher. Actually profiles very closely what David Peterson profiles as. But it has pinpoint control. They said averages like his walk rate's like 4%, something absurd. He's only had 2 starts in Double-A, so it's going to be interesting. I think he's coming up for the national game on Wednesday. But the question is going to be whether or not he stays after that. He matches up well with the Nationals. The Nationals have a lot of lefties. After that, I'm curious of where they're going to go for the long term, because this is a very young. He's 24, but he only has 2 starts in AAA. So that's going to be interesting to see how long he sticks up here in the major leagues.
Exactly. We'll see what happens. But Thornton's just one of the kids that's going to have to help carry this team if we're going to try to make a nice, fun summer out of baseball this year in Queens. Benj, he hit a rough patch. He's been hitting really, really well the month of May. Big reason why the Mets offense has started to wake up. AJ Ewing, the guy, it's funny that the guy got the call up and the announcement was dropped literally as our show ended last week. So we didn't get to talk about him. He's brought a nice spark to the team. Zach Thornton, we just discussed getting the call up. I know Vientos and Beatty, they're not necessarily the young kids anymore, but they're not necessarily veterans either. And, Vientos is better at first. His offense is better. And especially when you got guys like Luis Robert, he's going to be out for a long time, it sounds like. Polanco is going down the Jed Lowry route, it seems like, with the Mets. So we're going to need these kids to start stepping up.
This was, as far as trusting these kids and starting that process now, this is something that that is going to save David Stearns a lot of aggravation going forward. Because if these kids, even if the Mets don't go anywhere this year, if you can show that Ewan and Benj are your future, and now you have a future to sell next year, you say, okay, my team is a well-seasoned 2 rookies and Juan Soto. That's my core for the next 10 years. Yep. Those are my guys. Hit them with McLean. You now have something that you didn't have coming into this year, which is a true core that the fans can rally behind. That is going to be the biggest contribution that Stearns makes this year, and something that we got to credit him for saying, okay, I've had enough. We're going to let the kids play. No more Andy Ibanez. No more Austin Slater. Slater's going to be out of here as soon as the next warm body becomes available. We're going to trust these kids. They're going to play every single day, no matter how many lumps they go through, and they're going to learn how to play this game the right way. And then when we come into next year, regardless of what happens this year, you have a core to sell the fans that we can build on. All right. Exactly. And if these kids get it done and get you to the playoffs this year, even if you squeak in the third one, your future is bright. Your future is going to be made of these kids. And that it's changed the perspective that we need to have on the Mets. They're not necessarily a win now team. They are a build for the future right now team. And that's the difference.
Yep, exactly. So, we'll see what happens. I think summer will be pretty fun in Queens. I'm making no promises on records, predictions, none of that, but I just want a fun summer. I couldn't even speak. Give me a fun summer. I was not ready to end it in April. I was not ready to end the season in April. Wait too long, too cold of a winter to give up on baseball that early in the season. Real quick, too, just want to give a little shout-out in the chat. We've had a lot of faces join in over the last 10 minutes or so. Nick Ayala, what is going on in here? Tom not wearing shades. We mentioned L.I. already, but oh, man, everyone's loving the Tom that showed up tonight and saying you took out the shades, and all of a sudden you're unleashed. We got Paul Cruz in the building. Just like I said a few weeks ago, us Met fans have PTSD. Calm down. It's early. It is early. You're right. 100% right, Paul. 100% right. We got our boy Hitman in the building. What's good, ESP fam? Nothing much. What is good with you? We got Mike Pars in the building. Like and subscribe, everyone. We got our very own Sierra. Mets young kids look good this weekend. They most certainly did. So, yeah. We got a good audience coming on through, and thank you again, everyone, for tuning in. And speaking of tuning in, the preferred place to tune in is on YouTube. Joe, why don't you tell us a little more about the tube?
Yes, you can follow us on live on X, but YouTube is our preferred platform. Why? We interact with you, the chat, live on the show. So do us a favor, go over to YouTube, type in Empire State of Baseball, join our over 576 subscribers and growing. and join the crosstown conversation. We go live for the most part every Monday, which will lead us into our schedule next week. We'll talk about later. But every Monday at 8 o'clock. Tuesdays, the clubhouse goes live on occasion with Sierra, based on when Sierra is available. And Thursdays at 8 o'clock, shaped up with Keith, myself, Corey, and Mr. Phil on a rotational basis to talk about the Mets. So go over to YouTube, check out all the content there. We got some great reels, memes, all that stuff. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button. It's free.
100%. Go ahead, like and subscribe on the YouTube. And whether it's this show, whether it's the other shows that Joe went through, go ahead and give us the follow there. But anyway, we're going to jump ahead for tonight's game segments. Defining moment is the segment for tonight. We're going to pull up a Mets defining moment, a Yankees defining moment, and the job from the host here is to go ahead and try to fill in the blanks. So we're going to go ahead. We'll pull up the standings first just to give a sneak peek. Joe is at the top. Myself and Rich tied at second. Tom at 4. I think myself and Rich got points last week in Guess the Graph. So again, the standings holding relatively true over there for now. But defining moment, there's a lot of points on the table here. There's 3 blanks in each card, so potential chance for a 6-0 swing if someone really went for the fences here. But let's go ahead. We'll start first tonight with the New York Mets. Defining moment. And this is, again, Memorial Day moment. We're going to go back to May 30th of the year 2016. On Memorial Day, blank would throw the best game of his career by only allowing.
Why are you doing mine? Well, you did. Let me read it.
Oh, go ahead.
Yes. Thank you, Corey. Memorial Day 2016. This pitcher would throw the best game of it, not his career, of the season. Should say season, by only allowing 2 hits and striking out 6 batters in 7 innings. The Chicago White Sox would send a future Met, this pitcher, to the mound, who would also throw 7 innings, but ultimately would allow a solo home run to this hitter, this New York Met hitter, in the bottom of the 7th inning. It would be the lone run of the game, and the Mets would win 1-0.
So I think I get to go first because I'm the Yankee representative here, right? Is that how we've been doing these?
That is correct.
All right. So the White Sox pitcher, is it Quintana?
It is Quintana.
Okay.
That's a good guess. Good guess.
Maybe that was too easy.
No, it's okay. Honestly, Carlos Rodon might have been another one I would have thrown out there too. So he was a White Sox for a little bit.
But he was a future Met.
Oh, I missed the future Met part. There you go. Yep. So yeah, Quintana was definitely the best answer there. Let's see real quick. So we got a point there for Tom. Taking a quick look. So we got a Mets pitcher missing at the top. And then Quintana gave up a solo home run to blank Mets hitter. In the bottom of the 7th inning, it would be the lone run of the game. Trying to think of the best way. I see Wilmer Flores waving his hand there, but I don't think it would be Wilmer unless it's a nice trick.
That'd be some dirty play.
That would be a little dirty baseball. I don't remember this game specifically. I do remember the 2016 season. Don't remember the game. I'm gonna go ahead. Let's see, best avenues career. You know what? I'm gonna go Steven Matz for pitcher.
No, not
that was good. That was gonna be my guess, but I couldn't remember if he was up at that point.
Yeah, came up 15 was his debut. So it was
I know they all
kind
of came at the same time, but I thought Matz was a little bit later.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I'm just gonna fish in those waters because
is Rich guessing or is he not guessing?
If there's a ghost in the chat, feel free to throw something in there. All right, there's no ghost tonight.
It's not Mats. I'll say Syndergaard.
No.
Okay.
Not Syndergaard.
That probably, put in Syndergaard and Quintana, pretty easy. Okay.
Memorial Day. Best game of his career. I feel like we're just gonna knock.
Well, you see, he didn't. Joe clarified
of the season.
Of the season,
not of his career. But not close to us.
Would throw the best game of that season. You're saying
of his season.
Yes, of his season.
Got it. Okay. Is it Bartolo Colon?
No. 2 strikes scored.
So again, we do this to just conspire against Joe. It can't beat DeGrom, right? It can't beat DeGrom. He would have had better games than that. You would assume. Corey, I don't know if you could think of another just random guy who could have been that pitcher. I'm gonna try to go to the hitter. It's my turn. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of that era.
I'm gonna say for the hitter, I'm gonna say Lucas Duda.
No.
Okay.
Good guess. He's of that same era.
Lucas Duda did not play in the game, actually.
Okay. See, this is where I'm torn. I feel like I have to go back because I don't remember this game. So I'm not going to go to the hitting well because I feel like there's too many options. I kind of want to just at this point we've named 3 pitchers, I think.
But again, it can't. I mean, I'm gonna try to tell you, don't say DeGrom, but like you would imagine DeGrom had a better game than that.
We said Matt. Although this is early, I think DeGrom debuted 2014, so it's early in his career.
I assume he had a better outing than 7.
Yeah.
7
innings, 2 hits, 6 batters.
Guys in like 2 innings. I mean,
yeah.
Wheeler look through the game logs. This is this person's best start of the season.
Best start of the season.
I'm gonna go for another hitter because I can't think of it. I feel like it's gonna be like their 4th or 5th starter, and I don't know who that guy would have been in 2016.
Yeah.
But it's on you, Corey.
Who would you say is your pitcher, Tom, when you do the pitcher guess?
I did Syndergaard.
So we did Syndergaard, we did Max, we did Cologne.
Yeah.
DeGrom is left. Harvey's left, but was Harvey hurt?
He didn't pitch a lot that year, though. If he was hurt, that could have been his best start of the year.
That's true. I'm going to go Matt Harvey.
It is Matt Harvey.
There we go, right, Corey. There we go.
Teamwork, Tom.
It is the only game in which he gave up 0 runs.
Okay, so Corey, we have 2 shots at this hitter.
We got 2 shots.
I said Duda. Duda didn't play, so then who would have been playing first base if Lucas Duda's not playing? I don't.
Ironically, it could have been the guy in the picture, but.
So, all right, I think it's on me. Who is there? I'll. See, now I'm thinking like we had Harvey Quintana.
Quintana.
So this hitter has to be more obscure. I mean, Harvey is a quick answer. I think Quintana is a pretty easy answer of a White Sox to Mets. So Joe's going to put a tougher guy here. This isn't going to be a Michael Conforto, I don't think. I think it's going to be someone more obscure, so it's going to be kind of on you. I'm just going to say Conforto because I can't think of any other like Mets from that era off the top of my head. Okay. We're just talking it out here, people.
Yeah. There's options. I'm trying to think who else is on that team.
Well, that was Tom's guess.
That was my guess. Yeah. I'm just I can tell Corey.
Flores could have played first. That was Travis d'Arnaud era baseball.
I thought of d'Arnaud too.
Why are we assuming he played first?
We don't know. I'm just Flores played everywhere. We're just saying because Duda was out. Because that was the Duda era.
Joe seemed a little upset about that. So who else has been playing first base in the 2016 Mets?
Yeah.
And now he's giggling. It's whoever else played first base. It's not going to be Flores. We know that.
You know what? There's so many options. Like this is Neil. I think Neil Walker made his debut this year as Drupal Cabrera. I'm going to go as Drupal Cabrera.
Corey, you said it. It was Neil Walker.
No.
You said it.
It was 50. Oh no!
It's Neil Walker.
Oh man! All right.
Okay. So just
I had to go with my gut.
So
if I had another guess, I would have went Neil Walker.
All 3 of us get a point, which means you guys are still trailing my ass.
Oh man! All right. So all three get a point here. Basically a push across the board. We do got one more card. So and Tom, I won't read it for you. Feel free to go ahead.
Yeah. All right, so we're going back to 2003. On this night, baseball fans will witness not 1, but 2 accomplishments that may never happen again. In the 2nd inning, Roger Clemens struck out this St. Louis Cardinal for his 4,000th career strikeout. in this back and forth game, blank Yankee would hit a go-ahead homer to give the Yankees a lead of 3-2 in the bottom of the fourth. In the ninth, Mariano Rivera would strike out this future Yankees utility player to give Roger Clemens his 300th career win. Before you guys guess, what a crazy day. 4,000 strikeouts, 300 wins, same game.
Unbelievable.
What a day.
What a day is right. A lot of milestone day.
Yeah.
So let's see. We have a Cardinal struck out.
I guess I don't know who wants to go first, Joe. Was that a guess?
Is it my first guess?
I don't think I guess it doesn't really matter if one of you guys want to.
I'll take a shot at the hitter.
Oh, okay. Which one?
Was it Scott Rowland?
Scott Rowland is incorrect.
Oh. Trying to think of that era Cardinals team.
You also have to specify which one. I assume you meant for the first one with Scott Rowland.
Yeah,
first. We're just saying.
Okay. I'm gonna go.
I'm gonna check the chat to see any of these.
What was his name? Oh, it's gonna piss me off if it's him and I forget his name. I could picture the player too. Is it Edgar Renteria?
It is Edgar Renteria.
Wow, that wasn't the guy I was thinking of. All right, I'll take Edgar Renteria.
It is Edgar Renteria.
All right.
Okay.
So we're missing utility and Yankee hitter.
Yes.
And Joe, what was your guess on the hitter again?
Oh, you said Rowland.
He got Scott Rowland.
Yeah, it was not a utility player for the Yankees. Go ahead, home run to give the Yankees lead. Let's do was he there in 03? No.
I'll be able to tell you, yes or no, probably.
Why do I feel like that's early for him? 03. Was it Matsui?
Matsui is there in 03. It is not Matsui.
Mm.
I think he's there. Yeah, he's there in 03. I think it's his rookie year. All right.
Was it Bernie?
Not Bernie.
So that's a K for me. 2 Ks for Joe, K for me.
03 is his rookie year, yeah. Not when rookie of the year was such bullshit, but whatever.
Future Yankees utility players. So this might have been a starter at the time. Maybe he was older when he was utility. Could have been utility for the Cardinals, too.
He's a Cardinal guy. That's a utility player for the Yankees. Well, that takes the big names out, right? So that takes Pujols, Edmonds, Rowland out. Those guys.
Edmonds. That was the name I was trying to think of for the first guess. Jim Edmonds. I couldn't remember his last name. All right, there we go. But yeah, it takes out the big guns. Thinking of other starters, I don't actually know if he was a Yankee, but if he became a utility player, was it David Eckstein?
It's not David Eckstein.
That's a good guess.
Never a Yankee.
2 Ks for the both of us.
Certainly a utility type guy. Or is it 1K? Oh, yeah, it's 2 Ks, yeah.
Yep.
Corey
we never got the Yankee hitter yet either. We've guessed Bernie
there's so many names, though, in the offense, and Tom didn't pick any of the big names.
You don't know.
It's not Posada. It's not Giambi. It's not that easy. It's gotta be somebody random. There's 2 guys. I'm gonna go with the most known Cardinal. That would be a Yankee. Is it J.D. Drew?
It is not J.D. Drew.
Oh.
I thought that was a good guess.
So Joe is out.
That is a good guess.
Is it? Am I thinking because Steven Drew was J.D. Drew a Yankee?
Oh, I don't know about J.D.
Steven Drew was though.
Yeah.
That might, you know what? That might have been it.
I'm going to go with the Yankee hit. I'm starting to run out of St. Louis. I'm going to go Yankee hitter. I'll say Jeter.
It is not Derek Jeter. The Yankee hitter is the hardest one of this. It's Ruben Sierra.
Oh, good get. Yeah, that's the name.
The future Yankee utility player is Miguel Cairo.
Oh, Miguel Cairo. I didn't realize he was a Cardinal, Miguel Cairo.
That was early. Because Cairo was a Yankee not too long ago, right?
No, Miguel Cairo was a Yankee in 04 and 05.
And then he was a Met one year too.
Yeah, I must be thinking of the Mets, yeah.
I don't think so.
Look at that.
Miguel Cairo retired in 2012. And was a Met in 2005. He actually went from the Cardinals to the Yankees to the Mets, back to the Yankees, and then back to the Cardinals.
Well, look at that. Really going full circle there. But anyway, for today's game, let's see. So that last one, Tom got 2, I got 1. And then on the first one, we got 1 apiece. So it's 3 for Tom tonight, 2 for myself, and 1 for Joseph.
We needed it.
There you go. So Tom, there you go. And that's the defining moment. It's a moment to back into it.
I'm so happy Rich couldn't make it tonight because he's getting his back tattoo removed of David Bednar after giving up that home run. He actually at the trade deadline last year got Bednar right across his back. Has to get it removed after the embarrassment of yesterday. So thankfully Rich wasn't here for that.
Oh man, exactly. Thankfully he was, and we did have a couple of good ones in here. We did get Jacob Truzzi with Miguel Cairo, so good guess. Pars also with Cairo. So a couple of good guesses in the chat. Anyway, we're going to go to the other side of town here, talk a little New York Yankees baseball. But before we do that, Tom, why don't you tell us about Instagram and TikTok?
I would say I would love to, but I guess I'm just kind of forced to at this point. Make sure to follow Empire State of Baseball on Instagram for our over 7,500 followers. And our TikTok as well. We're now over 200 followers on TikTok. You're gonna see similar stuff on both. It really helps us if you would follow both platforms, though. You're gonna get archive segments, episode previews, Corey cooking up the memes, reels, usually cut-ups from previous episodes we're gonna put out there. Again, it does really help us just to show us, to give us the follow, like some stuff. If you wouldn't mind, Instagram and TikTok, Empire State of Baseball.
100%. Go ahead and give us those follows. And anyway, just a live game update before we jump into Bronx is Burning. It is 4-3 Mets through 6. They are on the road in Washington. And then on the other side of town with the Yankees.
4-3 Blue Jays. Yankees were up 1-0, down 3-1. Tied it at 3, and then the Blue Jays scored again on a George Springer home run. Of course, George Springer would continue to torture the Yankees.
There you go. Yep, George Springer always finding a way there. Sure. Always finding a way, that guy. Anyway, talking about Bronx is Burning, our Yankees segment for tonight. Again, we were talking about a little bit about the Subway Series before. Yankees losing the series 1-2. Yankees in a little bit of a colder stretch after their really torrid, ice hot second half of April, early May. Kind of faltering a little bit here in their last 10, 3-7. They find themselves now 3 games back of the Tampa Bay Rays, and the Tampa Bay Rays just doing what the Rays do. They're just being a pesky team. Finding a way to linger towards the top of the standings. Again, a team that doesn't never really have that all the firepower to make a deep postseason run, but always finds a way to stay pesky and be a nuisance throughout the regular season and maybe in the early rounds of the playoffs. But look at the Yankees. Listen, they got one of their pitchers back. I know Carlos Rodon, not the best starts in his first 2 starts back. He did have one against the Mets too this weekend. But he's back. Garrett Cole not too far off. But we also had some other Yankee pitching news in the last week, and it was Max Fried going on the IL. It looks like with his injury, they got a little bit lucky. A lot of thoughts was it the UCL? Is he Tommy John? Season-ending surgeries? It's not going to be any of that, thankfully, for the Yankees. But Fried will miss a few more starts. So that'll give a guy like Ryan Weathers a chance to stay in the rotation. And you always say, and Tom, now you're kind of seeing it firsthand too, and you've seen it in seasons past. Whenever you say you have too much pitching, you actually never have enough pitching. Never have enough pitching.
Yeah, and backtracking real quick there, the Freed thing, we're not even really quite sure yet. I think he has to get re-imaged again to see the severity of what's going on. And at best is a couple of starts. At worst, it certainly can be, I think, a couple months. So we'll see what's really going on there. But yeah, that's why you have the pitching depth, and and Elmore Rodriguez looks like, hey, thanks for coming up for a couple spot starts. You're going to be going back down. Hey, get back up here. We need you. And yeah, Cole should be on his way back soon. I think he has 1 or 2 more rehab starts left. I think they said he's going to do 2 more. But who knows? You never know what could happen, especially with pitching in 2026. So truly can't have enough of it. We talked a little bit about the Subway Series earlier. Just a lot of the Yankees' warts are showing. Their bullpen's horrendous. And listen, this team has a lot of talent. They're a team that should be in the playoffs, should be one of the favorites, as long as things stay relatively healthy to win the AL, because the AL has been down. But they need to severely improve the bullpen. They need to go out and make moves. And I know some of those moves might be internal. It might be moves of bringing up guys from the minors. A guy like a Legrand who's throwing 102, 103 in the minors. Is he a guy that, hey, listen, we're going to need you just kind of be, feel like that classic David Price move from the 08 Rays, and hey, you're a top pitching prospect. You're going to come up and just, close out games for us to make a run. But they need to get some vets as well. Bednar had a bad game. He hasn't been amazing so far this year. But he's still someone you can trust. Fernando Cruz has been pretty good. Tim Hill's been pretty good for the most part, but the rest of them, I mean, Camilo Duvall, I know he had a good outing in one of his outings against the Mets. I can't see him in a game that matters. He is just when he doesn't have it, it's very similar to Chapman to his tail end of the Yankees. You 2 pitches out of Camilo Duvall's hands. Is this gonna be a good inning or a bad inning? And when he's like, he can't find the zone at all. You're like, it's done. He's gonna walk everyone, and then he's gonna have to lay one in there, and he's gonna get rocked. Of course, then Chapman ended up recovering, but whatever. So their bullpen needs a lot of work, and then their offense. Yes, there's some really bright spots. You have Ben Rice, been great. You got Aaron Judge, who's still Aaron Judge. Cody Bellinger had a really good series. He's had a really good couple weeks, just being a good hitter. Frankly, Anthony Volpe looked pretty good over the weekend. He came
a good series.
He was getting some hits. I think he made an error already since he's been back. I think that was in the Baltimore series, but fine. Jazz looking a little bit better, but I mean, Austin Wells, one of our chat's favorite players. He's horrendous. He's just he can't hit. It is so bad at this point. It's crazy. A guy that we were told his bat's ready when he was in single A and double A. He could hit major league hitting. Just could he defend. And now he's actually known as a pretty good defender, pretty decent defender, good framer, but he can't hit. And we can't keep going on. I mean, the fact that the Yankees were kind of starting to get something going yesterday, and then he double play ball, first pitch after a walk has been in front of you. You can't do that at that point. Ryan McMahon, he's been horrendous. He's not even that good defensively this year. These are guys. They got Rosario starting tonight. I don't know what you do with some of them. I mean, Wells, I'm sure, is someone that if you really wanted to, you could send down, but then you're going to have to go out and get a catcher. This is a team that has a lot of bright spots. They're very good starting pitching. You guys, I'm sure this was when you're first watching a full cam Schlittler pitching.
You look good, man.
Very good.
You look good.
I think so to get himself back into form. Cole should get himself back into form. Other guys have been good. But some of this offense is bad in the bullpens.
I think the problem is, like, you could live with Wells doing what he's doing if you also didn't have a very similar production out of third base. And not only that, the fact that Jazz has basically not hit at all as well.
Jazz has hit more recently. He has
hit more
had a good
recently,
series.
but he's a frustrating player. But the thing with them, we know JC Escara isn't necessarily it, but Escara's got to start playing a little bit more.
Starting tonight.
And right, he's gonna have to start playing every other day, and you're basically gonna have to 50-50 it until one of these guys takes control of the job. Wells just can't hit. And I think one of the problems that the Yankees have is they were so quick to move on from Trevino. And not that Trevino is some great overall player, but he complimented Wells in the fact that Trevino was a righty, Wells is a lefty, and you had excuses to play Trevino. The Yankees don't really have that now. I think Escar is also a lefty, if I'm not mistaken.
They are, yes.
So
they've had two lefty catchers for the last 2 years.
You're not protecting Wells against the hard lefties that you should be, because he's still supposed to be a better offensive option than Escar, and they don't really have a way to complement Wells at the moment. So they're kind of stuck in this position where the catcher stinks, the third baseman stinks, and they have no way to upgrade either position, to be truthful. Now, when Caballero comes back, you could try playing your luck at Caballero at third base for a little while and see how that goes. I'll probably provide more offense than McMahon, but at the same time, McMahon at least is a brilliant defensive third baseman.
He's been bad this year, though. He hasn't been good. That's the other problem. Trent Grisham also didn't bring him up. Trent Grisham hasn't been good. I think
that's the other thing.
I think the nerds like Trent Grisham. I could check Baseball Savant. I think he's supposed to be hitting into a lot of bad luck. But still, like, at some point, I need you to figure that the F out.
He cashed in on that qualifying offer.
Yeah. Sure did.
He got a nice little payday for himself. Speaking of Yankee bullpens, we got Paul Blackburn in right now. I got the game cast up. It looks like he gave up a run. Might have been a sac fly or a single. I'm not sure. But we'll,
I mean, it looks like it's 5-3 now. Ground out, and it was first and third. Yeah, if you look at like Trent Grisham's Baseball Savant, his exit velo, his barrel percentage, his hard hit rate are up in the mid 80s. His squared up percentage and his chase percentage are 100. So the nerds would tell you that he's just running into bad luck. But I don't care. Like that's where like I just can't stand the baseball nerds. Like I need you to change something, figure something out, because you're gonna need to do better than you've been. So I don't know what the answer is. That's where they're stuck, and we're far from the deadline. There's no one, truly on the farm that could make the move. I mean, Lombard just got up to AAA. I mean, do you think, hey, Lombard, you want to come play third? I don't know. That seems like a lot to ask of a kid. We've only seen 5 or 6 games from Volpe. He's looked a little bit better. He has a different approach, which is nice. Looks like he's not trying to hit homers, which as a guy who's like 5'7", 5'8", maybe. Like, yeah, I don't think he needs to be trying to hit homers. It's better for him to kind of get on base. That's the other problem with Wells is he's homer or nothing, and he can't even hit the ball. McMahon's kind of seems like very similar. At least going back to Jose Trevino, he was a guy who would put the ball in play. I mean, that inning against Luke Weaver, and again, Yankee fans still love Luke Weaver. He came into so many of those situations as a Yankee, so we know he was capable of getting out of it. But they couldn't put the ball in play. You gotta just sack fly. This is where a lot of people hate listening to Smoltz, but him being an old school guy, he's saying like you gotta put the ball in play. Get a sack fly, get a dribbler, something. You can't just. Did Weaver strike all 3 guys out? I'm trying to think, or was there a pop out in that inning?
I'm trying to think too. It might have been.
I think he struck out the first 2, and then I thought he got either a pop out or some weak contact out.
Yeah. So it's just like that's That's I think that's part of the issue. And we've talked about that, in for lengths and on this show is the Yankees approach. It seems so many of them seem to have the same, true like power approach. And if you're Aaron Judge and if you're Ben Rice, that's fine because you have the ability to do it. You can check out Volpe, okay, fine. But I think he struck out the two of the other guys. Volpe, I think, was the last one. So at that point,
probably, yeah.
The team has a lot of talent. I think they should be able to perform well. They just they have a lot of holes to fill, and I don't know where you fill them. Some again, maybe there's some young pitchers you want to bring up and bring them into that bullpen role. Fine. But offensively, I don't know where you go because you can't continue with, like the worst offensive catcher, probably like the worst offensive third baseman, or bottom five, and Trent running into bad luck, fine, but that's a third of your lineup is just like I can't do anything.
I'm curious what the Yankee fan feels about their team. I feel like we're kind of in the similar position as the Mets. Are the Yankees the powerhouse that started the first 35 games of the year, or are they somewhere in between that and the kind of the skid that they've gone on? Very similar to the Mets, where the Mets are they more emblematic of the team that we've seen the last 15 days, or are they more emblematic of the team that was on the 11-game losing streak? I feel like the Yankees are in a similar situation because they left a lot to be desired last year. They brought back the same team. They got off to a hot start, but there are clearly flaws on the team, right? Like we talked about catcher, third baseman. It's hard to criticize Cody because Cody's doing his job, but Cody is a $170 hitter on the road.
He was really good in Citi Field. He was good there. Maybe he's just good in the city.
Yeah, other than New York City, he's about a $170 hitter away from Yankee Stadium, which is a problem.
I'm not going to worry about Cody Bellinger.
Right.
No. A pro, and he has enough of a track record where some of these other guys,
Trent. Let's go with Trent, right? Like Trent is regressing to the player that he was before last year, not last year that got him 31 home runs. If that continues, what is the Yankee plan for center field? And I'm sure
at that point it's
here.
But
Jones has struck out 50% of the at-bats. He's been up here so far.
Everyone knew that was also going to happen.
Right. But 50% is high.
Oh, absolutely. And I think we talked about Jones, a couple weeks ago. I think, Joe, you asked me if am I excited, and I was like, I don't know. I don't know if I really am because I think he could get super exposed, and I guess we'll see.
Sure. Wait and see. And the other thing is too, like you think of guys on the IL and you're trying to get some pop. All right, at some point in time, I don't know when because he's not running yet, but you'll have to run Carlos Stanton. The problem is it's not helping your positions where you're struggling. It's not helping your catcher, third base, or center field.
And I heard Michael Kay say this, and I like Michael Kay. The idea that you would put Ben Rice with the start he had at catcher would be the most foolish mistake the Yankees could make. There is nothing in my mind that is going to cool off a person who's playing offensively at an elite position. I know his defense is an issue, but offensively at an elite level like he is, and then put him behind the plate for him to get beat up? Absolutely not. I don't care how bad the position of catcher gets, the Yankees shouldn't do that. He needs to stay where he is.
I agree. I mean, the Yankees said that they would consider that, so it's not like Kay was like, coming up with something. The Yankees did say that that's something they could. I mean, he caught some games last year. I don't want to see him back there either.
It's too much to handle, and changes your mentality as a player. Plus, it wears out the legs. If you have a guy who's hitting 300 and is near the top 5 in the American League in home runs, why are you going to put that guy behind the plate? If your catcher is doing that production, you're going to look to find places to get that catcher out of that position.
To your point, the Yankees, I think, if you look at the pain points of the offense right now, You can deal with Wells if you're getting production at third, and if you're getting if Jazz stabilizes, if you're getting something out of short, you're getting something from the center field position. Yes, you could deal with it. It's not a big deal when you have a light hitting catcher. The problem is there's some games. The Yankees have a little bit of a weird lineup today. There's some games where it's like you get past the 4 spot in the lineup and you're like, well, there's just 5 outs coming up. There's just 5 easy, and not just outs, easy outs. Starting pitcher is going to get through those 5 guys with 12 pitches, and then right back to the top, and then all of a sudden starters are going in longer. You're not getting into the bullpen, and it snowballs.
Exactly. And ultimately, we'll see what happens. I kind of hope, just from a fantasy standpoint, we might get 5 or 6 games from Rice at catcher, just so he keeps the eligibility for next season. But I completely agree. You don't want to mess a good thing up right now, in general. All right. Real quick, I know we're nearing the end of the show here, too. Want to give a quick update on X. Go ahead and follow us at ESV Podcast on X. We're 3,200 followers and growing. You can follow our subsidiary accounts at ESPNYM and at ESPNYY, and the founding fathers, myself at Corey Favs, Joe at JR Pugs, Richard Rivera, and Tom at T. Wospil. And we got a bunch of shows throughout the week. We got spaces. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to pull up the let's pull up our board again real quick and run through the weekly schedule that we do have. Again, taking a look on every day. You can see pretty much every day we got a Bronx take taking place on X, 1 p.m. Eastern time. We also have extra innings. Normally would be tonight following the show. We're taking a little break from extra innings. We'll be back in a couple of weeks' time. We also have our next Twitter space or X space on Fridays, typically 2 p.m. Eastern. Sometimes we do them at 1 p.m., but typically 2 p.m. Eastern. And Phil from Shirley does a great job hosting that Queens Boulevard space on Fridays. And again, just a general reminder, you can listen to our other shows during the week, not just ESB at 8 o'clock on Mondays. We got the Clubhouse hosted by Sierra on Tuesdays. I know, again, schedule for all our shows a little wonky over the next couple of weeks, but we'll get back to a normal rhythm. And then Thursdays is Shape Up at 8 p.m. Eastern time. But, gentlemen, I think we're just about near the end of the show. Just a quick heads up for everyone in the chat. Next week, TBD on scheduling. I know it's Memorial Day weekend, so we may or may not do the show on Monday or Tuesday. We may not do a show at all next week. So next week, TBD. Keep an eye on some announcements. We'll go ahead and let you know when the shows are on. And then the week after that, our very own Rich Rivera gets married on May 31st. So there might be something fun planned on June 1st. Time will tell. And we'll see what happens there. But until next time, we'll go around the room. Joe, Tom, and then myself for the wrap. Joe, go right ahead.
No, close game here. Mets are leading 5-4, so hopefully they can hold on and win this game and continue their momentum back up to 500.
Yankees still down 5-3. Hopefully they can mount a comeback, get out of the skid, win a series against an AL East team, against the Blue Jays, a team that absolutely dog walked them last year. Would be very nice to kind of get back on the right foot.
100%. We'll see what happens. Do hope the New York Metropolitans find a way to close this out. Back and forth game. We'll see what the Yankees do as well in a close game tonight. Hopefully get some better weather than the forecast this week with the Memorial Day weekend. But hope everyone enjoys the end of summer. And again, obviously it's a holiday for a reason. I want to thank everyone who sacrificed their lives to put us in the state we are now. But that's going to be it. That's all for tonight's show. We'll go ahead and see you guys potentially next week, if not shortly thereafter. Until next time, take care.